Hi, my name is Adrian and I will show you a tutorial on how to make an effect like particle equalizer. So we'll start with Adobe Audition, or you can use another audio editing software for extracting only the audio parts that we'll need. So we're gonna cut some frequencies. So we'll let only the higher, mid ones and lower ones. Later, of course, if you want, you can make more section and have a more detailed equalizer. So before I start, I'll say that in this tutorial I'll tell about two techniques of making this kind of effect, and also I'll discuss about our techniques and what you can make after that. So let's start. I'll use this audio file which I've created for a New Year video. So this is how it sounds. So let's start to remove different frequency ranges by going to effects, filter and equalizer, EQ, and choosing the 10 bands one. So let's reset this, and I'll choose the range to be the largest one, so no frequencies will be let out. So let's start from higher ranges. I'll let the last free one for high frequencies. The mid will be this 4, and the low bass will be those 3. So let's turn all over all our frequencies down that we don't need. So let's listen to our results. This is the peak that you will get. Okay, let's apply this. Then we see that the amplitude of our audio file is lower than initial, so we need to normalize the sound. So let's go to Effect, Amplitude and Compression, Normalize. Leave the default settings and press OK. It's still not the best results, because you see that this higher peak is keeping it from being bigger, but we'll use a multiplier in 3ds Max after this. So let's save this, save us, and we'll choose the wave format, WAV, because 3ds Max won't accept WAV files and AVI files. Okay, so we'll call this high frec. Okay, now let's undo both effects, and let's go back to filter and equalizer. Okay, let's reset. And this time we'll let only the middle ones. Let's listen. Okay, so let's click apply, effect, let's normalize this. Okay, file, save as. This sound is not the great example, but this is my music, so no problem with YouTube. Okay, let's undo. Again, I repeat the process for a lower frequency. Effect, filter and equalizer, turn bands, reset, maximum range, all down. Except the last free one. Okay. Effect, amplitude, normalize. Okay. Let's save this file, save as low frequency. Okay, now we finished with the audio part. Let's go through 3ds Max. Okay, so I'll start with the simple technique, the first one that I've used in the video on YouTube, the next tutorial video, which is the simpler effect, but also is simpler to make. And this was the first technique that come in my mind, and after that I made some modification, but that will be another technique because it uses a little our things operator. So I'll use box 3 for this. So you'll need box 3 or 3ds Max 2013 not Series Pack, but the creation, I don't remember, pack, the last update with mass effects and particles. Our things, I'm not using it because I don't like the last updates. So anyway, you should know about this because box 3 and 2 now will be integrated in 3ds Max. I'm using box 3 only because Max don't let you to animate the delete operator. So particle H, see that if I right click I cannot go through curve editor, and also in graph editor, curve editor of particle flow, like so. I don't have one second, delete operator. Okay, so you see that the delete operator doesn't have any controllers. So only for age lifespan I'll use box 3. So we'll start by creating a standard flow. By the way, to open the particle view, you can press 6 on your keyboard. If it doesn't work, then you need to enable keyboard shortcut override, this button right here, and or you can create the particle system from the creation panel, particle system, PF source, and then go to particle view. Okay, so let's go back to particle view, and what we need, we want to create the particles that will have a path, a line like path of movement, like you saw in Mafia's video, Miller video. So for this we'll use birth from 0 to some big frame. We'll use rate because we want a constant amount of particles. Also let's set the viewport quantity to 100. You need to click on particle flow source, this one, header, this one. And okay, for now let's set this to something low. We don't need speed and rotation and shape operator. We'll use a speed by icon. Okay, so let's minimize for now particle flow. Let's create our shape. So go to shape creation tab and pick line. We want to be corner. So let's draw a cornered shape in our viewport. So click here. Now hold shift if you want to right angle shape. Hold shift, sorry. So let's create something like this. Okay. So you can also tweak it if you want to here and modify panel, and going to vertex subobject or clicking here you can tweak the vertices. Okay, now let's select the speed by icon. Sorry, my phone. So go to animation, and we want to constrain it to our path. So constraint, path constraint, and pick this path. So we'll not have this animation. The good thing about speed by icon is that it's relative to the birth of a particle, so the initial position of a particle. So this is almost what we want. We also want for now to make it a smaller range, because when we pick constraint, path constraint, it automatically creates a keyframe at frame 100. So I want to drag this frame to frame 30. Okay, so now it will be faster. Now let's go back to particle flow again by pressing 6, and we want to change some settings here. We want to change the acceleration limit to something very big because we don't want to limit it. Also, I want to tweak the path a little bit because I don't like this corner, like so. It should be more like an S shape. Okay, so so this is it. Also, we want to go to position icon. For now, we'll use position icon, but later in this or the next technique, I'll show you how to birth it from a texture. So let's set this to distinct points only, to have only 10 points, and location volume. So now we should have something like this. Also, let's change the display to dots, like so, and increase the particle count. Now we have these lines. So you see that they are not now flat, because the icon is oriented along the axis, so we need to rotate it like so, 90 degrees. You can also use snap, angle snap. Okay, so let's set Krakatoa to see what we have. Go to Krakatoa menu and set Krakatoa as current render and open Krakatoa graphic user interface. Yes. Okay. So let's set it to force additive mode for now. Of course you can also use lights and get a different shading, but I'll use force additive mode because it's easier to set up now. Let's render F9. Sorry, F9 is to pause Camtasia, so I'll use Shift Q. So now we have something like this. Okay, this doesn't look too bad, but it can be tweaked to look better. So let's we'll make it look better after we'll set the audio animation. Okay, so to do this we'll create a point anywhere in our viewport. Okay, so we'll keep it like cross, go to motion panel and go to assign controller, go to position, go to Z position and click assign controller. Pick audio float and let's click choose sound. Go to saved to our directory where we have to save the audio file. So I'll pick now mid frequency, but later we'll add the other ones. And we want the minimum range to be 0 and the maximum range we want to be 30 because the the length of constraint by the speed by icon animation, it's 30 frames. And also we want absolute value. Okay. So we don't see anything. Let's see. It doesn't like. Okay, it doesn't recognize the sound, I think. This means that we'll need to set a different format for our sound. So let's remove this for now. I've used before FL Studio for this thing. So let's open the mid frequencies and let's resave it and click change on sample type and set it to 16 bits. Okay. Okay, now let's add it back to 3ds Max, like position, Z position, assign controller, audio float, choose sound, 16-bit, like so. You see that the channel is enabled if everything works okay. So let's set this to 30 maximum value and absolute value and close. Now we should see the animation. Now if for example you set assign the audio controller on a smaller range, then your animation will have a bigger one. You'll see that after that range, the first range when you apply the audio controller, the object will stop. To fix this, you need to go to select the object first, go to Graph Editor, track view top sheet, and go to the Z position, change the mode to edit range, because the default one will be edit keys. So change to edit range and select the endpoint and drag it all the way of until you fulfill the range of your animation. So now you should see that it will work after frame 100. Okay, so let's go back. Now we need to make the setup for box to delete the particles after a lifespan that will be animated. So to do this, first we want to delete the particles that are bigger than no, sorry, let's create the data operator, data test, this one. And also we'll add a delete operator, delete all, like so. Okay, so in data test, we'll go to edit data flow, and we'll input standard. We'll use age, particle age, like so. Also we want to select object, and select our point. I'll rename it, let's to mid-range, mid frequency, to be more clear. And now we need an object operator, like so, because we want to extract the pivot position, the object position. So in this case will be object pivot. So what this will do, will extract the object position output as vector 3. So we want to extract only the x part, the z part. So we choose convert. We want vector to real, and we want the z value. Also we want to convert it from real to time, because particle age is in time value. So let's leave it at the frame, as we want in frames. So connect this. Now we need to put a logic operator. So let's put a condition, and we'll set the type to time. We also want to make the second value an input. So if particle age is less than this value, the animation of the z value of point, then we want to delete the particles, like so. So I've used the output test operator that outputs the boolean value true. Then it will send the particle to this event. False, we'll leave the particle in the same event. So let's close this. Turn on auto update for later, or you can click just update when you want. Let's minimize and see what you have. We see that the z value are very small. So let's multiply it a little bit, like so. Okay, let me see, what is the problem? So data test, So point object pivot z position right real to time, and if particle is sorry, we want to delete if it's bigger. I'm sorry. So let's close this, and now we can see the particles will be animated. Like so. So now if we see the animation. So let's render active time segment. I see the animation of the sound. So now we maybe want to add some color. So one of methods to add color is to put an material static and the mapping operator. Also note the order of operators that I apply. It does matter. So if you run into problems, just check the order. So we'll choose a gradient map. Set the colors to something that you can debug. So you see in this mapping operator we have an UVW parameters. So they will be used for mapping coordinates to get the color from our map. So let's render. We see the first color. Okay, let's cancel, and if we will change this to 1, for example, we'll see the sorry, I didn't apply the material. So go to material static, go to material editor, and drag the material here, instance. Okay, so now that's rendered. So now you see the red color. If you put this to 0.5, you'll see the middle color, yellow one. Okay, so how it's working, it's sampling the color from 0 to 1. So 0 is the left part, 1 is the right part. Okay, so now we want to connect this to our point animation. So in order to do this, we're gonna go to our particle view and go to mapping, and right click on the EU parameter and go to parameter wire dialog, and we'll select our point on the right pane. This parameter wire dialog will let us connect the parameters using an expression. So we want to connect this one to this one, so click this direction, and also we want to divide it by 30 because sorry, by 1 100. This depends. For our maximum value in animation in the point animation is 30, but if we want, we can sorry, our maximum value in our point audio float controller is 100, but we can scale it up a little bit by dividing to something smaller, like 30. So it's up to you if you want to scale. So many problems with Maxi. Okay, so something like this. So let's close this. We see that it's changed the value depending on the sound. Yes, so for now it's very simple, it's one color, but later I'll show you how to put more colors into this. So this will be all for the first part. And sorry for my English and all those problems. I didn't record for a long time tutorials, so I now have some problems with computation, sound settings. So hope I will get back soon. Okay, see you in the second part. Bye.